This is the latest keypad by HORI, aka Tactical Assault Commander F14 Final Fantasy XIV Black Edition. And as you guessed, it's directly targeting Final Fantasy Online players. But can it be used for many other games? Of course. To be precise, this is not the first FF14 keypad that HORI has released, as this model came out several years ago in silver color. Even its mapping up still has it in silver. Since then, nothing has changed visually or functionally, only the colors. But if you're hearing about it for the first time, stay tuned. If you are aware of HORI as a company, you would probably know that last year they have released another Tactical Assault Commander targeting specifically PS5 players. So is this device any different from PS5 version? Yeah, a bit on the outside and a lot from the software side. I have a full review of their PS5 Tactical Assault Commander keypad versus Razer Tartarus up here, if you're curious. I'm not gonna go too much into user interface and key mapping, since a lot of it is self-explained straight on their website. Instead, we will look at its quality and ergonomics as usual. And on a quick side note, all I can say about mapping software, it works like a charm. By the way, this is not a sponsored content in any way, so a thumbs up and sub are highly encouraged. Also, if by the end of this video you decide to give it a try, please use my referral link in the description to support this channel at no cost to you, since Amazon may share some of their profits from sales with us, but only if you click on that link below. So sub, thumbs up, and follow the link if this video was useful. The first thing you will notice and appreciate is how wide this keypad is. Really good for bigger hands and may cause some challenges for smaller ones. But since it's relatively flat, I assume that any humans with any hand size will be able to find the right position for themselves. Even this thumbstick distance is adjustable, which is a plus. Entire keypad naturally follows hand curve and may take some getting used to if you're switching from a regular flat keyboard. We'll come back to the keys in a second, but first let's look at the back side. Over here you have this AK switch, and it's important to understand how it works, as this is the primary difference between PS5 Tactical Command keypad and this one. If you plan on using this bad boy on a console, you have to put it into keyboard mode, which means your analog stick won't work like an analog, but instead as a keyboard combination for directions. This means that your console will see this keypad as a keyboard. So as a result, if you plan to use it in shooters alongside your MMORPGs, it may mess with your aim assist. But if you plan on using it exclusively for MMORPG games on consoles or solely for computers, it should be okay. But if you still plan to occasionally plug it into your console, for shooters, go for a dedicated PS5 TAC keypad if you need aim assist. And just remember, what's short for aim assist? That's right, pussies. Let's flip it back and look at the work area. There are a total of 22 up-facing keys, while PS5 TAC version keypad has 20. Extra 2 keys, yay! However, unlike that PS5 version, here we have a proper analog stick, though it feels flat if you are planning on switching to this from a controller. It's just not natural ergonomically and will take some getting used to as well. While for PS5 TAC, for some reason, they decided to install this hex-shaped socket. And with that said, I still think PS5 TAC has it better, not because of a socket shape, but the way it maps. See, with this keypad, whenever you switch it to K mode, this guy can be only mapped to up, down, left and right. This makes any movement in your games kind of edgy and unnatural. While with TAC, on the other hand, every single point on that hex can be programmed as a key. So even if you are mapping your thumbstick to physical keyboard keys, you can map combinations in a way to make it work naturally. Honestly, whoever designed these thumbsticks needs to be fired, as these two pads got it wrong. Okay, let's say we are past that thumbstick. Jump button is the second issue here, since on a keyboard you would use your thumb to click on the space bar. Here, your thumb is busy navigating, so you either have to assign one of the keypad keys or as I did, use one of the mouse side buttons to simulate controller experience where the jump button is controlled by the right hand. Again, more getting used to. Of course, you can have several layers and profiles for key assignments, just like with any other keypad, and it works great. But my main concern here is the quality of this thing. I mean, for $140 you can get Razer Tartarus V2 or even Tartarus Pro on sale with its crisp key switches. Just bear in mind that Tartarus Pro works only with computers, so if you need one for a console, then go for Tartarus V2 instead. Links below, of course. Also on this thing, I would say switches feel mediocre at best, though I have to admit the switches have a decent feedback. At least for what usually Hori makes. Yet, the worst button is this one. It doesn't have any feedback, doesn't always register multiple clicks, and feels sticky, which makes it not ideal for spacebar or sub-function key substitute. So, to properly utilize it, my ideal arm position to use thumbstick and keys without losing control was to angle it like that. This was the only comfy position I found to be playable outside of MMORPG games. But even in MMORPG, I found that thumbstick is not as useful as your standard good old WSAD keys for movement. You're practically losing 4 more keys from your keypad and going back to something you used to have on a keyboard instead. So, cheap plastics, cheap rubberized plastic, could be cushioned, and a natural thumbstick position. This is how I would summarize this thing. At this price tag, I feel like it doesn't give you what the competition has. Is it usable? Yes, it is usable and does what it was made for, but Razer does it better and at lower cost overall. So technically, all you're paying for here are the Final Fantasy franchise royalties that Hori has to pay now. I'm gonna leave it at this note without any conclusion, because I want you to let me know in the comments if I missed anything or if I was unreasonable. Have you tried Razer and then this, or vice versa, and what was your experience? So with that said, don't forget to check out one of my latest videos about keyboards or the earlier mentioned Hori PS5 Tactical Assault Commander keypad. Don't forget to sub, thumbs up, and please use those links. Godspeed!